Hi Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. This is going to be a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. My name is Jackie. Thank you so much for joining me. The energies that we're going to be really focusing on, though, are that for the full moon in Gemini, which is the new cycle on December 12th. A couple of transits I wanted to talk about with things happening, a couple of ingresses actually. Before that, we have December 12th, Jupiter is entering into Capricorn, and this energy opens up some beautiful things for us if we approach things with integrity and a strong moral compass. So we really need to be flexible, not too self-serving right now. That's going to blow up in our face if we are, and that's on the 2nd. And then on December 9th, we have Mercury going into Sagittarius, which is all about fairness, karmic balancing. So I do like that. This new moon exactly opposes the Sagittarius, this full moon rather, exactly opposes the Sagittarius sun. It's right across the street. Gemini is opposite of Sag. So this energy is all about finding the balance between our logical mind, which is Gemini, and the greater quest for meaning and experiences beyond where we are right now, which is very Sagittarius, right? So this full moon is a time of culmination. The new moon wishes. Those of us who made our new moon wishes when we had the new moon, those are coming to fruition here. Definitely an emotional time. Romance, though, lots of emotion having to do with romance and relationships, but it's also about fertilization, you know, epiphanies, things growing, us coming up with these great ideas. There's a definitive sense right now of emotions just kind of like bustling up to the top. We really need to express ourselves now, Taurus. Just know that not everything is going to make perfect sense or seem completely rational right now. And that's only because, well, on the one hand, we have the full moon is square Neptune occurring when Mars forms this trine to Neptune, right? Very creative, visionary, intuitive energy. Venus is kind of stuck between, stuck between Saturn and Pluto. So Saturn is the great taskmaster, and Pluto is all about transformation, releasing core truths that get in our way. So Saturn is pushing Venus, right, to look at and release these core truths, to get really honest about things that are no longer serving her so she can level up. And we're all going to be going through that within all areas Venusian, which has to do with relationships and money, right? So we're all going to be feeling it, but especially those with personal planets and points at approximately 16 to 24 degrees of the mutable sign. So even though you guys are not a mutable sign, it would be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Chances are you have a mutable sign in your chart. So check your chart and see if you have between 16 and 24 degrees, and that's where you're going to be feeling this the most strong. But we have Heaven Sent as your... this is great, Taurus. This is about you getting a message in like a... It can be in a direct form, but can be in an indirect form. And these are the type of messages that sometimes we don't even know what we need, and our heart cries out to spirit when we're just doing our day-to-day activities that we need help, we need assistance in a certain area. And this is the kind of energy where even if we didn't ask for it, we're getting it anyway. And it could be in a very innocuous way, like a good example of this is, let's say you either see a movie or you read a book, and it prompts this beautiful idea in your mind that you wanna change something about your job, or you're somewhere and you're overhearing a conversation in like the coffee shop or something, and you hear somebody say something that spurs this beautiful idea in you or makes you remember someone, and you end up calling them. And it's like these kind of little gifts where it has little to do with the actual wrapping and more to do with the message that it ends up bringing you, right? So these kind of gifts can be recognizable in the obvious, right? An offer of some kind, a definitive windfall, wouldn't that be nice? Or some kind of trip, a friendship, a new lover, or remarkable healing in a current relationship, or just a leveling up in your current relationship, even if you're not in a space of needing healing right now. So, and it can be far more subtle and even more powerful than you imagine, where you end up feeling it like more like a jolt of energy that just allows you to perceive things differently all of a sudden. And like you're able to solve a problem that's been really bothering you. You know, it's really about giving you this definitive energy and this awareness, and it's the support that you didn't even know you needed. So that's awesome. Awesome. Who can't use that? Let's pull a Celtic cross spread for you guys. get a little bit of information about a little bit of everything in life. Now, if I'm going to be interpreting this for relationship as well as for career, so if you're here with either of those on your heart, that is what I'm going to be interpreting these cards as. And then at the end, I'm going to pull some love oracles for a couple of different types of relationships that you might be in. So hang around for that. Okay. Taurus, general messages. It's 2 weeks in December. Temperance reverse is what you're feeling right now. There's your situation right now. So temperance is about sharing and fairness, and it's the alchemical card. It's about recognizing what you need, what the other person needs. Now, if this has to do with relationship, Taurus, I'm getting that you feel like you're in a place right now, the situation right now in your relationship is you feel like there's not, I'm not even going to say fairness, I'm going to say that your needs are not being met completely the way that you need them to be met, or your partners are not being met the way they need them to be met. And there's this lack of coming together and recognizing what you each need. So if it has to do with a job, this has to do with you working a job and it's like you like your job, but you're not fully getting what you need back from it. So there's this lack of reciprocity is the temperance reverse. In the upright, it's about acknowledging the alchemical process of coming together and compromising. And in the reverse, there isn't this compromise that's going on. So let's see what's crossing you. The Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is about just taking a minute, even if only mentally, it doesn't have to be physically, where you're leaving a situation that you're viewing as not good for you, possibly toxic, just not good for you. It's not speaking your truth. Something is the swords of truth, and it's about not resonating on a very fundamental, truthful level with you, and you needing to step away from it. Now, typically, with the Six of Swords energy, this does happen first mentally, sometimes only mentally, where you're just not able to actually leave right now. So there's definitely this missing. There's this missing in this relationship or in this position within your career that you feel like it's just not speaking to your truth. And it's not really a good thing. Like for you, it's about taking some time away from it. Now, this is not a tower moment or anything where there's a lot of drama. It's about literally taking a break and just to kind of really rethink things, just to think things through. So that makes sense to me with that temperance reverse. Of course, it's going to incite some introspection and some consideration about what you need to do. And this is you getting on that boat in your emotions and just sort of leaving the situation for a minute to do some thinking. Let's see what's crowning you. It's the Two of Cups. Okay. So the Two of Cups reverse is telling me that there's something that you're not really happy with about your communication within this connection. If it has to do with relationship, something's off with the connection. There's this, the willingness is not equal on both sides. There's an issue here with reciprocity. I mean, and that's also what the temperance is telling me. There's this lack of, you don't feel like what you're giving, you feel like you're not getting back. Somebody is not on the same page with you as far as where you see the relationship going. Now, as far as a career goes, this means that there's not good communication in your job. There's something happening and you feel like you can't actually come forward, Taurus. It's like something is happening where you feel like there's something inhibiting your ability to communicate and inhibiting your ability to have this fair playing field in some area of your career. Now, this could also have to do, obviously, with a family member as well. Guys, it could have something to do with a family member where you feel like something is being handled very unfairly within your family. You're not being understood, and somebody just being really either judgmental, being very opinionated about how you're running your life, and you just needing to take a minute away from them and not feeling like you guys have a meeting of the minds here. So we have the Lovers as the foundation. So the Lovers is a great card because it's about recognizing that there's conflict and there being a willingness to iron things out. So I do like this. So I'm going to give a couple of interpretations that I'm getting. Some of you guys might be in a situation in your life where you are wanting to take a chance on something, whether it's start a new career, whether it's change the track within your career, whether it's to be in a relationship with a particular individual, maybe revisit a relationship with a particular individual, and the people in your life absolutely not being supportive of this. And you need to step away and really doing your own thinking, but you recognizing that at the end of the day, it's between you and this person who you're with, or it's your career to make the decisions about, okay? And really understanding any of maybe the ideas that these people are saying to you about this person or this situation, but you feeling very much at one with your decision to be with this person, because any sort of issues that have risen up having to do with this relationship or this career, there is a willingness from all parties involved, from you and your partner, or you and your boss or your colleagues, to straighten things out. And it's not about anybody else understanding you and your process. It's about you understanding you and your process. So that's one thing I'm definitely getting. For others of you, this can be that at the end of the day, you're in this relationship where you might not be getting fully what you need, and the communication is not fully there, right? And that's crowning. But under it, as the foundation is, there's love. There's love. So this could be those of you who are in a long-term relationship, or you're solid with somebody. You guys might just be in a weird space where you're not connecting the way that you would like to, but you guys love each other. There's love and there's still willingness there. Like nobody's going anywhere. Okay, that's another narrative there. So in the past, we have the High Priestess energy, which is about, in the past, you weren't really sure if you were able to trust your own intuition, you know? You were making choices in your past and you weren't sure if it was going to bring you where you really needed to go, you know, and it probably didn't. But in your near future, we have the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory and success and respect. Victory, success, and respect. So really, really awesome. Taurus, I like that. So let's just pull all of these cards here. And last four. So this is you right now. Two of Pentacles reversed. You're very confused about two paths, two jobs, two situations, two lines of thinking. Like, you know, so some of you can feel torn between your family and the partner that you're with. Some of you can feel torn between two partners. Some of you can feel torn between two paths of a career. Because Pentacles has to do with money, right? Should I take this job? Is more money there? I don't know. You know, am I going to get the support that I need? You know, is this relationship really going to give me what I need? You know, is my family right about this person or not? You know, this feeling of confusion. But you ain't being in the space of you just really not wanting to actually make a solid decision right now, which is probably why you get the Six of Swords energy. You just kind of want to go away and think for a minute. And what's crossing you is the Four of Swords, which is about remembering everything that has happened up to this point. Right? And there's this recognition, and there's this, you finding value in the past and finding value in what you've been through. Because if you think about it, in the regular Rider-Waite, the Four of Swords is a soldier who's come back from war and made it. And he's laying on top of his coffin just really grateful that he went through all of those experiences, and now he's back, and he's just grateful to be alive, and he's really looking forward to what's to come. But he's just not quite sure not only, you know, where he's going, but he's just not sure how he feels about all of it, right? Because, you know, the swords are thoughts and truth, and he's not sure how can I acclimate my past? How can I acclimate into a new life, bringing what's still of value to me from my past and throwing away the rest? Like, where do I see myself going, kind of thing? And that's what's crossing you. It's just having some of these questions, and in your fear position is the Ten of Pentacles, and this just tells me that you're afraid of not arriving. You're afraid of not making the correct decision, Taurus. I mean, this is very obvious, right? You're afraid of not having enough money if you make this decision. So if you stay in this job, you're not going to have enough money, and you're not going to feel enough soul support and soul connection to this career path that's going to make you happy in the long run. If it has to do with relationship, this can have to do with you know, this person really is not as committed to accumulating resources as much as I am in the same way. Or this person is just maybe, I'm afraid that they're not going to be willing enough in the long run to be what I need emotionally, physically, and mentally. So it's this fear, but it's not real. It's in the fear. And the outcome, though, is the King of Pentacles. So don't be afraid, because you get the King of Pentacles in the outcome. This King of Pentacles is just about understanding how to be on point with money and everything pentacle. So this is about really not being perfect. I'm not saying perfect, but has the ability to compromise, to communicate, to be supportive. They're open enough in their energy to understand what's necessary, which, I mean, that's awesome. So this is you, and this is somebody who you're dealing with, because it's a court card, so it can be only you, only someone else, or a little bit of both of you. So as far as a relationship goes, that's what I think you're both just really willing and able, very able and capable to give what's necessary to make this relationship a success. Having to do with career, this career that you choose, that you're thinking about right now, is definitely going to end up bringing you the money that you need, and you're going to work with people who are like-minded, where you end up feeling a really nice sense of support within the workplace. So however you are coming to this reading, that ends up being really beautiful, but you're going to be going through a little bit of confusion leading up to this point. But what I do like is the Lovers in the foundation, because there's this willingness and there's love, and to have the King of Pentacles as the outcome, this is just part of the process, but that's okay. And just know that while you're going through this process during this time period, Taurus, there is a lightness. There is a lightness. Like, don't hang on to anything that might be potentially heavy in this at all, because there is a definitive lightness about this energy. Because Gemini and Sagittarius, they're like the neighbors who live across the street from each other, who don't always like each other, but they really like each other during the holiday season, and they're going to be partying together. I don't know if that makes sense, but without getting too technical. But there's definitely a lightness. Great energy for the holiday season, absolutely. So let's pull some cards for relationship, for those of you here with specifically that on your heart. Okay, and we're going to start with those of you who are maybe in no contact, where you're on a break, where you're just not together, but you're still in each other's energy fields. Karmic relationship, lightning, keys on a ring. So it's a karmic relationship. Fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment. Lots of lessons learned, though, in this connection for sure. Letting go and loving you. Hold on, let me think for a minute. Okay. So for those of you who have not been in... Okay. Taurus, for those of you, I'm not laughing, this is just keeps coming up, I feel like, for any readings that I'm doing for people who are on a break. Those of you who are on a break, but you're still in each other's energy field, the person that you're dealing with, or this could be you, having options had something to do with it. Having some sort of one-night stand had something to do with it. But I feel like either you or the person you're dealing with ended up stringing someone along that they tried to lose themselves in while they were trying to not think about you. Or you might be doing this right now in a way to not think about somebody else. Where it could be a one-night stand, or it doesn't have to be. I mean, just because it's on the card, but it could be just this idea of connecting with somebody else and kind of stringing them along and having them as an option, as a way of just losing yourself to not think about the person that you've been in a relationship with. But the thing is, this is a karmic relationship. So you guys are nursing a lot of resentment. And there are a lot of fleeting triggers. There's a lot of emotions here, man. If you guys have not been in contact, there are a lot of emotions. It's this idea of, learning the lessons and letting go, but still loving the person. But then we have lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise epiphany, upheaval, transformation. So I'm going to give two different scenarios. Some of you, karmic relationship all the way around, for those of you not in a relationship right now. Losing yourself, not losing yourself in a third party kind of thing on either side, it can be. But there is this there are epiphanies coming in, lots of upheaval in this transformation. Now you could be transforming and bringing yourself out of this energy altogether, but I'm more inclined to say that there's going to be a revisiting of this. There's going to be some sort of shocking news. Somebody's having an epiphany here. either the person who, maybe it was you who instigated the no contact, or them, it doesn't matter. There's some sort of epiphany that's going to happen, and there's news that's going to come in very quickly, and you guys are going to end up having this conversation and really looking at why do you guys feel so resentful of each other, and looking at the lessons. And really, and honestly though, Taurus, if this is your story, you're going to have to be able to deal with the keys on a ring energy, this third party situation, or just this idea of them just feeling like they wanted other options. You know, what's underneath that? You know, if it was you that wanted to take opportunity with another option, what's underneath that? You know, because that means that there's something lacking in the relationship, obviously, that you guys really need to look at if you're going to revisit this. Because epiphanies are wonderful. They sound so sweet, don't they? They really do. You know, they do. And you need that, though. You need epiphanies in order to transform, but you also need to have that communication with, you know, why it all happened in the first place, you know, and that's really important. Okay, that was a bad shuffle. I guess they don't want to go. Let's stop it there. I need to cut though. You need to cut. I wasn't feeling that. Okay. This is for people who are in a relationship, in a relationship. Seduction. Okay. Heart with the key. Wedding rings. Taurus. Okay. All right, I'm kind of liking this. And don't get scared of the third party interference message here. There's a lot of seduction here, Taurus. Ooh, lots of attraction. You guys are flirting with each other. You guys are going on great dates. There's just a very like sensual vibe about this. I really like it. The third party interference, that could be for some of you where somebody else is trying to break into your relationship. Somebody's flirting with somebody, either you or with your partner, but we have the heart with the key, which is about welcoming love. Being with the one, really opening your heart, getting together, perfect. We have wedding rings. Union, wedding, married, soul connection, everlasting promise, eternal love. So, oh yeah, Taurus. Those of you who are in relationship, you guys are going to be entering a very cool phase of deepening. There's a lot of deepening here. So maybe that's part of this heaven sent, part of this message where it's like this infusion of energy I'm feeling into your relationship where there's just going to be, I'm just going to go like very seductive, very sensual. There's going to be a lot of attraction and you guys connecting though in that heart space on that level. Just opening yourself up. Just really opening yourself up. There might be a little jealousy nonsense going on. The third party interference, I don't get that anybody's doing anything though. There's nothing here that tells me that. So there might be a little jealousy, which you know what, maybe that could be a little fun thrown into a relationship. You know, it's a little bit of an aphrodisiac depending on how you roll. But beautiful, beautiful. Taurus, I love it. You guys got a good reading, man. Very good reading, my friends. Very happy for you. Guys, enjoy the first 2 weeks of December. Enjoy this blessing. Keep yourself open so that you can recognize it. It can come again in a very obvious form or not so obvious form, but you guys are going to be feeling a jolt of energy, some sort of jolt of juice during this time that's going to just serve you very beautifully. Awesome, awesome, Taurus. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.